I wanted to jump on and do a quick live stream about some Scientology that I am kind of mortified to admit that I believed. I came across something that I found when I was cleaning out my office, which I've been doing for a couple of days. And I got to reading it, and I can't believe that I ever believed some of it. I mean, I can believe that I believed it. It's more so, it's hard for me to believe that anybody else did. Like, I can see where, the pieces that I picked up on. So then I thought, well, Natalie, you're being unfair. Maybe it's just a particular thing that you're looking at. Because I was reading something out of here. This is from a lecture series called The Factors: Admiration and the Renaissance of Beingness by L. Ron Hubbard. Hey, Kitty. And I just cannot believe that what some of this says. So I thought, oh, this makes no sense. But if I look things up randomly, maybe it will make more sense. It did not. It did not. Wait till you guys hear this. Hey, Aubrey. We're going to read a little L. Ron Hubbard. Listen to this. I'm also convinced now that he wrote this. He had to have been on some type of medication or something, or mind altering something. And how I didn't see this before, I don't know. Hey, evil blue eye. Yeah, Kitty, The Factors. Snoozeroni. There we go. Okay, I'm back. You did not lose me, but almost. Okay, listen to this, right? This is just blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Hey, Steph. Jamie Palmer. So, being something, then, which is a routine thing, being something means a no change. And when you get a no change, you get a new static. So the person goes from being nothing to being nothing. And when you said he went from being to being, you might as well say he went from being nothing to being nothing, because all the being there is nothing. Isn't that crazy? Hey, pause for Andrea, and thank you for the belated. Yeah, I've decided to celebrate for the whole month. I really did. Bell Notes, thank you so much for being a member for a month, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I washed my hair. I learned how to use these rollers the other day that I'm trying out. Finally went in and got my hair colored again. I'm going to read you guys a few more of these because they're so stupid and ridiculous. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Hey, B. Taylor. I love doing these vertical videos a bit behind the scenes because it gives me a chance to catch up on the chat more, which I do not get to do in a regular video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. Thank you, Jamie Palmer, for the belated. Isn't it crazy? Hey, makers. You lurk a lot. Me too. I'm a huge lurker in people's chats. I will comment in my own chat, but almost never in somebody else's. I'm a lurker. This stuff, these Scientology beliefs, a lot of this doctrine and just round and round in circles way of thinking, I didn't realize how much it was like that, how much L. Ron Hubbard was like that, because I just didn't really read or listen to any Scientology after I left. Thank you, Uncompromised. I'm celebrating the whole month for sure. Yeah, Shell, you too? Thank you, Cubana Chica, for the reminder. Double tap your screen for like. So I'm reading through this and I'm just like, how did I think it was making sense? Because if you read something in Scientology and you're like, well, that is just like, that just makes no sense, then you have a misunderstood word, or you have to demonstrate and show how that is. And I'm realizing like the amount of energy it took to make this stuff make sense is truly mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Here, I'm going to pick something at random just to show you how mind-blowingly stupid it is. Let's see. Well, you as an individual, this is L. Ron Hubbard, you as an individual will make as much money as you attract pro-survival attention. You can just absolutely, you can plot how much money any man is going to make just with that. You can plot them as they walk into a processing session. This fellow is going to make so much. His life potential from here on in terms of currency gets as much attention pro-survival as he is in present time. I mean, just like what the heck. Hey, Sandy, it feels like cult story time. It really does. And I get what he's saying, except the thing is that it also is very much like, oh, we can predict how much money you make in Scientology as soon as you walk in the room. It's so catty because that's what he says. It's basically you can be sized up. They know when you walk into a Scientology session. So you walk in and I guess your Scientology auditor just gives you a little like up and down, looks at the shoes, looks at the belt, sees if there's a watch, what kind of a handbag are we dealing with, and then decides how much money you're worth. That's what I'm reading. That's what it sounds like to me. Oh my goodness. It is weird, right, Kitty? I know it is. It's weird and it's not weird. Because at the time I can kind of remember thinking, well, if some things are unusual to me because I did not grow up with that belief. So say, for example, a virgin birth. If you weren't familiar with the story of the birth of Jesus and you had never heard it before or heard of such a thing, it would seem really weird. That's what they would tell us in Scientology when we felt weird about Scientology. Well, this isn't really that unusual. You know, the whole body Thetans and a galactic overlord. I mean, Christians, they believe in a resurrection and the birth of Jesus, an immaculate conception. And in that context, as a Scientologist, I remember thinking, well, I guess so. I mean, I guess if you could believe this, why couldn't you believe that? And that is one of the ways that we made this stuff make sense when it didn't. Absolutely. Sandy, thank you for the alohas there. Oh, B. Taylor, what a bummer about your screen. That is the worst. But thank you for being here. We're basically just talking about some crazy L. Ron Hubbard beliefs in here that I can't believe that I spent the amount of time that I spent having to wrap my head around this. That's the thing that I think is hitting me now when I sat down to kind of like, I'm like, you know what? I've not read the factors or listened to the lectures in forever. And I have no reason to, and I don't really want to. I just did it out of curiosity. And I'm reading it like, how did I make this make sense? Now I understand when people, especially who've never been in Scientology, will read some Scientology, some L. Ron Hubbard, and be like, it just doesn't make sense. It's word salad. Now I totally get it. I just haven't read any of it since I left, so I think it's so bizarre. Kitty says, I even think the religion doctrine is weird as well. It's a lot of different things. It's a lot of different things. You know, it doesn't have to be, it at least that's been around for such a longer period of time. And that's what they used to tell us in Scientology. Well, Scientology seems weird because it's new. No, Scientology is weird because it is weird. That's why. It's because of the following people and the billion-year contract and the disconnecting from your family. That's why Scientology is weird, not because it's new. I mean, maybe at one point that could be part of that narrative, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Philosophy says here, that's so interesting, Natalie. They literally say that you should believe it. You should believe it because there are other beliefs that are just as far-fetched. Yes, it's a false dichotomy. Is that what that's called? Exactly. That's exactly part of it. Hey, Atkins in Texas. Gonna one die. Thank you so much for that. Oh, yep, B. Taylor. No kidding. Oh, Lauren, you're right. Indoctrination is powerful. Adults need to stop. So true. Cricket Cinema, we're going over Dianetics with Miss Kim. It's a lot of stolen ideas mixed up with his own nonsense. Exactly. I'm realizing that too. Now that I've read some other things and I've learned more about like therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, it's just so much of it is stolen. It's no wonder he didn't want anyone to see a psychiatrist. LRH got the idea for religion from Jack Parsons. Jack was a rocket scientist in the 40s and 50s. He's in the P and JPL jet labs. Yes, I've heard. Alohatology reporting. Hello, Kathy. Aloha and welcome to you. We're just reading a little bit of L. Ron Hubbard's Crazy, and I'm revisiting what my thought process was at the time with some of this. Sandra, hello. Hey, you. Okay, and we're just randomly looking up just like random LRH Crazy. What do we got? Because you see, if a person holds them apart and fights holding them apart, they collapse and he's left then with a terminal or a point, anchor point, terminal. I don't care which word or phrase you use. He's left them with something which has collapsed upon him in such a way as to have overcome his own self-determinism regarding it, and therefore he is in apathy. Now, you might say, Natalie, you're reading out of context. I mean, come on. No, even in context, it's not making a lot more sense. It just really has me questioning so much more about, at the time, how did we make it make sense in Scientology? And I'm realizing it is because that's some of what they told us. Well, other beliefs would be odd if you'd never heard of it before. Philosophy says it's a type of false dichotomy. A false dichotomy occurs when someone falsely frames an issue as having only two options, even though more possibilities exist. This oversimplification. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that, but that makes sense to me. And that's funny because I feel that way often about things. Somebody will say, well, what do you think? Do you agree with this or this? And I'm like, well, I don't think that those are my only options. I rarely think that there's only two options. LRH was tripping balls coming up with this stuff. Yes, I know. I'm telling you. It really does seem like it. Sharona says, it's funny that they misuse the Immaculate Conception. It's actually that Mary conceived by natural means, but without sin, therefore fit to be the Virgin Mother of Christ. Ah, not what we were told in Scientology. Big surprise there. Big surprise. Well, Nisa, the thing about the hydrogen bomb and the Xenu story is you don't know that until you are like really deep into Scientology. You don't find out about Xenu and body thetans until you're like over $100,000 in most cases, and more if you count the different donations and things. Jack Parsons was a follower of Crowley, and so was L. Ron. Yes, definitely, I'm familiar with that. Isn't it crazy that he did that? And then, oh, now I'm going to release Dianetics. Yes, I am. Poo-poo. Is it poo-poo? Po-oo? Po-oo. It's either po-oo, po-oo, or poo-poo, which kind of sounds funny, but thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Most Catholics don't get that right. That's interesting, Sharona. I did not know that. Adam says, Xenu is Scientology's jump scare. Okay, now you got to tell me what a jump scare is. Was LRH half alien? Was Xenu his real father, like in Star Wars? You know, Steph, it would have been really more interesting. I think it was, if it was. But no, I'm trying to find out where Xenu is supposedly held. Because I remember hearing that he was held captive in an electronic prison or gate or cage or something. But where? I really need to dig deeper into that because maybe we can go find him. Y'all up for going Xenu hunting? Yep, philosophy. I get what you're saying. Great point. That's right, makers. That's so true. So Adam says a jump scare is when you're watching something serene, then pow, something jumps out at you. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I have to remind my grandkids, like, do not jump out and scare me. You can't do that to grandma. Not this one with PTSD from having been in a cult. You don't want to scare us. I feel like both my sister and I share this. We'll get scared easily. And there was so much fear in Scientology and being exposed because you're not a child. You're a big being in a little body. I spent well into my adulthood, and when I say far into, I mean far into adulthood, being like somewhat afraid of the dark or under a bed. I mean, and it took me a long time to get over that, and I have to admit, it was not that long ago where I realized that there's nothing there that's going to hurt me. But in Scientology, and we were told, led to believe that the world outside of Scientology, on one hand, we're supposed to help these people, but on the other hand, they're so evil. And there's so more evil in psychiatrists. And I would get scared. I can remember being young in school thinking, I need to be aware of the psychs. I cannot let the psychs get me at school. So maybe I thought it was like the psychs under my bed. I don't know. Oh, I've had the jump scares in the sleep. I get that. I didn't know it was called that, though. In fact, the other day, this is actually really bad and horrible, but I'm going to tell you anyways. The other day, I was, like I said, I haven't been afraid of things under the bed in a while. And I just was having some anxiety. I think it was because of something I was talking about to somebody earlier. And I'd been going through a lot. It was my birthday, my first birthday since I lost my partner. And I was feeling a lot more anxiety. And I walked by the guest room and, oh wait, no, back it up. I went to go put something under the bed, a couple costumes for Halloween. And I thought, I'm going to put them on. I had guests coming, and so I had to like shove a bunch of stuff under the bed. I put it under the bed, and it felt like one of the packages was pulled away from me, like it was yanked from me under the bed. That's what my brain told me, is something was under the bed and it yanked the package away from me. And I knew that logically, I'm like, that is not what happened. The package probably, it shifted and then it felt like it was being grabbed away, but it wasn't. But it still kind of like triggered that anxiety and being scared of the dark and things under my bed. And that going back to kind of growing up in a cult and Scientology. I know I'm not the only one too. And I watched way too many inappropriate horror movies as a child. So I'm thinking like, okay, how do I know in my mind, and at the same time I'm on the phone. I got one of my ear pods in. I don't know who I was talking to, but whoever it was, I couldn't admit what was happening. So I'm staying on the phone and I'm like, just drop down to the floor and look under the bed. Once I look under the bed, I'll see that nothing's there and I know nothing's there. But then part of me didn't want to look under the bed and give in to that stupidity of thinking that something was under the bed. Right, K-Rad? And that's why we don't sleep with our feet hanging over the side of the bed. Yes. And I'm thinking, well, I should look. But if I look, then I'm giving in to me thinking there's something really under the bed. But I'm like, it kind of really felt like something was grabbed. But again, I was in an anxious state of mind at the time. So, you're right, Sharona. You're so right. Those are totally some of the things that would remind us and make us scared. So here's what I did that I feel kind of bad about, you guys. So I'm standing there in the doorway of this room while I'm on the phone, still trying to convince myself whether or not it's okay to look under the bed. And my grandson comes running up, Oliver, and Oliver goes, okay, maybe you guys got to tell me if this is as horrible as I think it is, because I think it's pretty bad. Oliver comes in and he goes, I'm hiding from my mom. So I go, hide under the bed. And I send my grandson under the bed. But because I knew that it was proving to myself, obviously, I know in reality there is nothing under the bed, and I'm so convinced of it, I'm going to send my grandson under the bed. But the anxiety part of my brain was just saying, oh, what if something happens, right? Like this will be the one time there's actually something under my bed. And I couldn't even believe I was having this conversation with myself while on the phone with my grandson right there. And needless to say, Oliver was fine. He was safe. He went under the bed. There was nothing there. And it was fine. But I feel a little like I should tell his mom. I mean, it's so dumb. But like I said, I just thought it was proving a point to myself. I believe it so much. I'm going to send my grandson under there. And while you're under there, Oliver, look around and make sure. Gina, you are correct. Oliver was a gift when I needed it. Absolutely. Okay, Marcy says don't tell her. So, and she doesn't watch all my videos, so maybe. We need Oliver proof of life. He's not here at the moment. But I will work on that. I did get a great first day of school photo of him, though. Thank you, Indie Deb. Thank you for that. Thank you for the birthday wish. Jamie, I tell my dad that I'll go to a haunted place as long as I'm with somebody. That way I'll have someone to run faster than if crazy-ish goes down. I hear you. I hear you, girl. I totally feel that. Absolutely. Yep, I know. I am Shalene. I'm ready to sacrifice my grandson. Yeah, Sharona, you're right. No harm, no foul. And really, honestly, it's because I believe so strongly that nothing was going to happen that I sent him under the bed. But there was a part of me, there was a small part of me that was kind of like, you go look. Yeah, Evil Blue Eye. I never saw it. Um, but movies like that for sure. Oh my gosh, Poltergeist, The Exorcist. I mean, all of them. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Thank you, Nico. Happy Belly Button Day. That's funny. I did not hear it called that. Hey, Dip. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Lady Victoria. Yeah, it was a good birthday. It's a good birthday month, I've now decided. I went into a haunted house. Yeah, I can't do haunted houses and things like that anymore. It's too, I don't go out of my way to startle or scare myself. I find it too disrupt. I spend so much time and I've worked so much on trying to calm down my nervous system that I tend to not want to do things that'll jack it up. Same reason why I have no desire to jump out of an airplane or anything like that. I just want some good old fashioned boredom. I just want to be and relax. Amber says, I just got a call from from Scientology Mail Center. They left a message on my home phone, and I know how they got my number. They said wanted to talk to me about the mail I've gotten. Yeah, I bet, Amber. I bet they want to talk to you about the mail you've gotten. That's hilarious. They just don't learn. It's remember, it's like hard to get off a Scientology email list. It's like herpes. It just does not go away. You're just stuck with it, stuck with it, stuck with it. Unless you get declared a suppressive person like myself, and then I'm finally off the Scientology email phone list, all of the things. Oh no, Lady Victoria, I saw 13 Ghosts. That's why I'm like trying not to watch those movies anymore. But a lot of these were in my childhood growing up. Emily, that's interesting. Yeah, I love horror movies, but you know what I'm liking more now is not horror, it's more suspense. I also love sci-fi and comedies. Not so much a rom-com, I can live without it, but if it's so cute, it's disgusting, then I'm there for it. But give me a zombie movie or anything post-apocalyptic. I love that stuff. But not just horror for the sake of horror. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Lady Victoria. I survived Scientology. I've had my share of horror. I'm Oh, sleepaway camp. That must have been scary, Bell Notes. I think I did it once in the 6th grade for a couple of days. My school would go, ooh, Power Lies to Paralyze, 28 days later. And also, what is it, 28 days later? And then it's like 28 more days or something like that. There's another movie, 28 days later. And then I don't know what it is, but I'm with you. Those European zombies, they're scary because they move so fast. The European zombies run, but the American zombies here in the States, when they seem to just go more slowly. So if there is a zombie apocalypse, I hope to be in the United States when it happens on account of the zombies just are way slower. That's how it looks anyways. If you base your life on film or cinema. 28 weeks later, yes. Was it 28 weeks and then 20? I forget, but you guys know what I'm talking about. There were, okay, 28 weeks and 28 months. Could be. Either way, those were excellent zombie movies. Yeah, 28 days. It is a different genre. New one coming? 28 years? No way. Don't tease me. Is it seriously? Is it? Don't get my hopes up. They're infected with rage, paralyzed to paralyze. Do you like true crime shows? Some of them I do, some true crime. I don't like a lot of real life violence. That's why if it's zombies or post-apocalyptic, for some reason, I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, Jamie, that's your new name, Jambi. Jamie Palmer, zombies creep you out. No, totally. Adam, you're right. Scientology itself is a zombie story where Hubbard tried to engineer a zombie army. Gosh, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? It was 28 days and 28 weeks later. Helen, you're right. Okay, finally somebody got it. You're right. It was 28 days and then 28 weeks. 28 weeks was when I think his kids show up. Oh, Lady Victoria, I need to find that one. Black Sheep. I like a funny horror movie, too. I like that. Black Sheep. It's the funniest freaking movie you'll ever see. Ever watch Mystery Science Theater 3000? That's campy horror. No, I like would see bits and pieces of it, but no, I don't know. I didn't appreciate the commentary as much. I wanted to just watch the movie. Zombies and post-apocalyptic love 28 years later is coming out soon. Oh my goodness, I hope so. Oh, Black Sheep is about zombie sheep. I could be down for that. Oh, wow, Steph. So you have a grandson named Oliver as well. I'm sorry for your loss. But that's really cute that his name is Oliver, too. I'm glad you're here. Oh, DK Canada. I love Shaun of the Dead. I watched that multiple times. That was a good one. I like the funny ones. Yes, into Scientology. That is my true crime right now. I like listening to their podcast. Sharona, I'm with you. I like the thrillers. I'm just not into the horror. I don't have a stomach for it unless it's zombies. Then I do. Then I totally do. Or post-apocalyptic. Oh, kitty werewolves and vampires. Yes, I am down for a good werewolf vampire movie. I could get into that. There's what is that one on AMC? They're redoing Interview with a Vampire. I'm behind a few episodes, but I've been watching that and loving it. That's been a good one. You're right, Dragon Wrangler. It is the processed food that slows down the American zombies. I'm with you on that. That is probably it. It is. It's all the messed up gluten. In Europe, I hear you can eat bread and not be bloated like you do here in the States. But it probably would affect the zombies. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Jamie Palmer, yeah, I hear you about Twilight. Oh, Helen. Oh my goodness. Do you become desensitized to? So your husband writes about horror films and you've seen more terrible horror films than you can imagine exist. Do you get desensitized to it or, is it still scary? Oh, Cubana, Dark Shadows. Yes. David, take that back about Shaun of the Dead. That was a hilarious movie. What was that one with Bill Murray? Where it kind of campy, but I think it was zombies. It was a Bill Murray movie. Didn't come out that long ago. Philosophy, the whole New Zealand black sheep thing makes sense. I see what you're saying. I gotta watch that now. Sandy, I remember it vaguely, Dark Shadows. Somebody else just brought it up, but now I kind of want to see it. Oh, you're right, Robert. An American Zombie would not last in Europe. No. They'd stand out right away, you'd know. Because what is it? The black socks with the white tennis shoes. I think is that a stereotypical American thing that Europeans think about Americans? Lady Victoria, I am watching Interview with a Vampire. I'm behind by a few episodes, but I am totally watching it. I love it. Oh, Pamela, don't get me started on Zombieland. I love that movie. And the second one, oh yeah. That's how I learned to double tap. I know, pause for Andrea, you're right. Natalie comes on to talk Scientology with us. Here we are talking about zombie movies and vampires. We just enjoy hanging out with Natalie. I'm glad because I'm fine with that. I kind of made my point that I was making, but I don't get a lot of an opportunity when I'm doing an interview or a recap to talk with you guys. That's why I like doing this. Yes, Helen, the formula in the madness. Great way of putting it. Steph, I think I saw the original Christine, but I know there was a remake. Oh, your dad was a cameraman on that. That's right. Kitty, I forgot about H.P. Lovecraft. I watched like 1, 2 episodes and then forgot to go back. Me and Taz, I was talking earlier about we were reading some L. Ron Hubbard nonsense and how I was trying to wrap my head around how I ever wrap my head around it. It's mostly hilarious. Oh, I remember the Pride and Prejudice zombie movie. Did you see the zombie movie with Lincoln? There was that one too. Is the Interview with a Vampire TV show better than the movie? Don't mean to split the chat, but I've been thinking about watching the TV show and wondering if I should. Yes, yes. Watch the TV show. It is different from the movie. It's very different. It also picks up where the movie ends. Not where it ends, but in the future. So, no, watch the show because it's different. I really like it. Oh, Emily, I don't blame you not being able to watch Dateline. I don't like, that's why I don't like watching too much true crime and stuff like that. No way, Sharona. You got to see Anne Rice in her garden? I did that to her too. Well, at least I got to see her house, but she sure as heck wasn't there. That's so cool. Lady Victoria, that's funny. Hey, Aaron. Bad Taste, the film that made Peter Jackson famous in New Zealand long before he did Lord of the Rings. Oh, okay. Philosophy. Bad Taste. I'll have to find it. Bad Taste. Bad Taste and Black Sheep. The show Z Nation was silly and delightful. You know, I think I watched some of it. I think I might have seen a season. Maybe I should go back and catch up on it. Kitty, which cult's document? This is Scientology cult documentary? Going Clear, that one or a different one? Ooh, Dawn of the Dead and Resident Evil. Yes. Your mom loved them and watched them all the time. That's funny. I watched them too. I'm probably old enough to be your mom. Thank you, Dip, for the reminder. Double tap your screens if you're on your phone to hit the like button. And please subscribe because you never know when we're going to drop in and talk about zombies and werewolves and all the things. And how I'm no longer afraid of things under the bed, even though I can talk about zombies and werewolves and all the things. Oops. Ooh, I Am Legend. That was a good one too. I actually watched that one a few times. Or World War Z. Ooh, those were some fast zombies though. That was almost problematic. Oh, the program in Shiny Happy People. I can't remember if I saw the program. Oh, Jamie, you're 34? Yeah, my oldest is, yeah, 34. Right? I'm 50. Yep. Yeah, my oldest, totally old enough to be your mom. I have a 34-year-old. Oh, Pamela, I know the part in I Am Legend. I don't like that part either. Amber, what are you talking about? I've not heard of that. Bubba Hotep. It's about Elvis living in a nursing home and zombies at the nursing home. I feel like that should be in my life. When I get to watch, when I sit down to watch something, I want it to be so nothing like my actual life outside of YouTube content. Thank you, Carol. I was a fan of Resident Evil too. Bubba Hotep. I know that does sound hilarious, actually. It does. Bubba Hotep was so funny. Now I can't stop saying it. Bubba Hotep. I hope that's not offensive. I don't even know what it means. What do you think will happen to the Church of Scientology over the next 10 years? Growth, plateau, or decline? Jeff, I would say decline. Decline. It's already been declining. I think it's going to decline more. I think we're going to see a steep decline, and then they're going to claw back up. But I think we'll just continue to see more declines. Lady Jane, you played Resident Evil. I wouldn't be able to handle the graphics and all that moving around. Oh, Silence of the Lambs. Love that one. It puts the lotion in the basket. Isn't that how it goes? It puts the lotion on its skin and puts the lotion in the basket. Oh my God, I'm creeping myself out over here. I don't think I saw Kingdom. Ooh, Halloween, classic. Classic, classic, classic. Oh my goodness. You know what? I need some new movies too, some recommendations. What am I actually watching now? Jeff, what is the craziest theory you learned in the church? One that you look back today and ask yourself, how did I fall for that? Oh my gosh, there were so many. I think the biggest one is that we were big beings in little bodies as children. So I never saw myself as a child. I believe that I needed to be more responsible, more capable. If something made me uncomfortable, I had to get my training routines in, as it's called in Scientology. And that was such a big part of not just my upbringing, but life and well into adulthood. And it's so much a part of the training and the indoctrination. I would say that the training routines in Scientology is one thing that now I'm like, but they have us do it from childhood. And when you grow up doing it, it's just not as weird as going into it as an adult. I've often wondered what it's like to be an adult going into Scientology. How do you, that's what I wonder about. Like, how do you not see it weird? Because you've lived out in the world outside of Scientology. Oh, Helen Omen's a good one. Van Helsing too, yes. Pamela, do you think it's worth going to the movie theater to see Deadpool Wolverine, or can I wait for it to come on pay-per-view? Or maybe it already is and I just don't know yet. Oh, Jamie, I'm with you on The Exorcist. It is, for me, the scariest movie I've ever seen. The original Exorcist. I want nothing to do with the other ones. Yeah, Z Nation was a good one. I need to finish it. I didn't finish it. Okay, Pamela, so I do need to see it in the theater. I have not been to a movie theater in I don't know how long. It feels like years. It probably has been at least 5 years. Tony had restless legs, so he could never sit through a movie in a movie theater, so we never went. And it seems like people just hardly go. But there's one not far from where I live. It's got recliners and stuff. I'm like, I can get into that. Ooh, maybe a birthday movie in Clearwater. Yeah, Sandy, that's not a bad idea. Bill notes, now that your kids are grown, do you see a difference in how they take on life with their different exposures to Scientology as kids? A difference in how they take on life. Before and after Scientology? Yes, absolutely. Mainly with my oldest, Shelby, because she was the one mostly involved in Scientology, did extensive Scientology training, where the other two, not so much because they were younger. It had an effect on them because they were raised in Scientology. But I would say definitely there's a difference in how they take on life. For one, they've all been in therapy at one time or another and are learning that about mental health and tools and acceptance and just so many more things than I ever learned growing up. Just even generationally in ways they're better off that way. A movie popcorn is breakfast. Oh yeah, Judy, I hear that. Velma, I can't remember that movie. Oh yeah. Poltergeist got me too. Frighteners, was that the one with Michael, what's his name? Oh, I'm totally going blank. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Paranormal Activity freaked me out for a bit. Yeah, no, I know. That's why, like I said, I don't watch a ton of those. I mean, you're talking to somebody who just sent her grandson under a bed to go make sure the coast was clear. Whoops. Hey, Joe. Thank you for getting here. We're just catching up a little bit. We were talking about some crazy Scientology stuff, and I just rarely get to just sit and chat with the chat. So that's what we're on to now. Oh, Corpse Bride, that was a good one too. Jeff, were there any benefits at all from Scientology that you learned, if not necessarily pinned to Scientology? Yeah, definitely. Um, in a weird way, a lot of what I got out of Scientology was being able to survive Scientology. Learning that I'm more resilient than I thought that I was. Things like that. Discipline in being in the C organization, you definitely learn discipline because it's a very disciplined environment. But I think there are better ways to teach those lessons. So though I did learn lessons of resilience because I had to survive Scientology and discipline by being in the C organization and living in a much stricter environment, I think there are other healthier ways to learn those same lessons. So I wouldn't put it so much as, not that it cancels each other out, but there was some stuff like that. And I mean, I think that we can learn from every experience. I forgot about Santa Clarita Diet. Lady Victoria, is there a new Beetlejuice movie? That's how out of it I am. I'm like, is there a new one? Evil Blue Eye. That's right. Natalie is the person under our beds. I'll be right there. Yeah, Marcy, it did make me tough. But again, I can think of maybe other healthier ways to learn the lessons that I learned. Maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe that is how we learn those things, is by going through the thing that, the undesirable, the evil, the whatever you want to call it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there is only one way to do that. I'm not sure. Oh, Coraline by Tim Burton. No, Neil Gaiman wrote Coraline. Oh, wait, but Tim Burton did the movie. Yes, you're right. I saw the new Beverly Hills Cop too, Joe. I liked it. I did. God, now I really want I never crave popcorn, and now I really want movie theater popcorn. Oh, Beetlejuice is a new one. Okay. I haven't seen Witches of Eastwick in a long time, Amber, unless there's a new one. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Bad Thetan, I know you believe it. You caught alive. Here we are. I was talking about a Scientology thing, and we have moved on to something more interesting, which is kind of like horror movies. But it is the season. We're getting into fall. We are. It's time for pumpkin and chai and witches and stuff. Oh my gosh, The Entity. That movie scared the crap out of me, and it still does. Ew. Judy, what is the major positive experience that came out of your experience? Well, I mean, do you mean, what was a major positive experience that came out of my experience? I would say I got to learn how tough I was, how you can be tough or resilient and still cry. You can be tough and resilient and still be scared, which they don't tell you in Scientology. And there's something about being able to express those emotions that I think make you even more tough and resilient. I feel more that way now. It's a different toughness in the C organization. I actually had to undo a lot of that. So I probably wouldn't count that as a positive, but just the resiliency, I think, would probably be the a major positive for sure. The other major positive is my family. Having made it out with so many of my family, and despite 35 years in Scientology, that's a major plus for me. The Burbs, it was a funny one. Oh, wow, you got tickets to Beetlejuice on Friday the 13th. Wow. That's fun. That must be coming up. I'm like, I don't even know what number it is today. No, I do. It's the 3rd. It's my birthday yesterday. That's how I remember. Joe, I need to ask. I saw on a few lives all your specs. How many do you have? I don't know a lot because they're reading glasses. So I need to wear reading glasses when I live stream because I don't see close. And my regular glasses that I wear out and about don't work as well for up close. I don't know a lot, but I was married to an optometrist for many years, although I don't have any of those glasses, just a couple. Most of them come from Tony had a clothing store, a men's clothing store, and Skojos are a line of eyeglasses that he carried in the store. And so when he closed the store, he gave me all the threes, which is my prescription for reading glasses. But these are from Costco. But I do have some nice ones that came from Tony's store, Costco, and a local shop in the area. I really like to have them all over the place. Yep, bad thing. And I hear you on The Exorcist. I'm not about it. Dusty, is it raining in Coldwater? It cannot rain when I'm there, though, which is going to be in a few weeks. I mean, it could rain a little bit, just not a whole washout. I would prefer no hurricanes or anything like that. Pause for Andrea. What are your favorite desserts for your birthday or otherwise? Oh, goodness. I love key lime pie. I love carrot cake. I love chocolate cake. I love really good cookies. I had a good cookie the other night when it was my birthday. It was a special birthday cookie. Now I'm realizing that's probably why I thought somebody was pulling something under the bed. Got a little paranoid. DK, it amazes me how strong people are who are raised in Scientology and have the strength to leave. Yeah, it's amazing, that whole saying, right? It's amazing what you do when you don't have a choice anymore. Where the fear and the pain that's happening is more than the fear of leaving. And you need to do it. So worth it, but I'm amazed. It's funny. I'm amazed at people who do it, and I did it, and I'm much more amazed at other people who do it, especially when they're leaving without their family, knowing that they have to leave for their own sanity, and that it could mean losing their family, and they lose their family in the process, but it's what they needed to do for themselves. Oh, Amber, that's sweet. I have a positive thing that came out of Scientology, getting to know all the SP Foundation people, SP channels, and getting in touch with my friend Danny and my friend Brendan. That's cool. Oh, Megan was a good one too. I don't think AI is going to kill us all. I think that humans think that because that's what humans would do. But I could be totally wrong. And if I am, I guess it'd be too late. Oh, Afila, happy birthday to your dad. 15 years ago. Wow. Yeah, Atkins, just because I'm paranoid. I was paranoid after this particular cookie. It was a doozy. It was a birthday cookie. Me too, Jamie. I haven't met many desserts that I didn't like. Very true. That's right, Beth. Doesn't mean they aren't out to get you. Hiding under that bed. But it's okay because I got my grandson here sometimes. I'll just send him under there, do bed checks, and make sure. Thank you for the reminder, Dip. Oh, yeah, me and Taz. I know I'm going to Florida right in the middle of hurricane season, but I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh my gosh, Sandy, pumpkin pie sounds amazing right now. Oh, I'm so in the mood for that. Yes, RSM, Ollie, he wants to do a video. It's just scheduling. The kid is busy. Speaking of AI, you guys, I'm going to have Scientology Geek on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think. Is it tomorrow? Yes. And we're going to be getting into ChatGPT and the Scientology doctrine and all the culty stuff that was uploaded and how you can talk to ChatGPT about Scientology. It's really interesting, and I need to understand more about how it's working. But that's tomorrow. I want to say I'll do a notification tomorrow, but it'll be 3 or 4 Central Time. Yeah, Jamie, I hear you. There's a platform bed. It's a platform bed, but there's still space underneath. uh, Kitty, what is a Nanaimo bar? And dainties? Atkins, what is the next fear that you're going to confront? You say you love confronting your fears. And Anna, if I find cookie crumbs under my bed, I'll know it's Oliver. Yep, Heather. Oh, I got it, prepper. Bert was against Ernie eating cookies in bed. I could see why. I could see why. Gunna, that is true. That is true. Odin Woodbourne. Again, I didn't get very far in my belief of that and realized that, like, it could be, I could be being a little extra. Oh, Granny, why did a cookie make me think someone was under my bed? It was a birthday cookie that we have recreational cannabis use here in Minnesota, and I was enjoying a cookie for my birthday that I had not had before, and now I'm realizing that's probably why I thought somebody was under the bed. For a short period of time. Short period of time. So it was a funny cookie, Granny. That was why. And my paranoia and things growing up and some of the like cult baggage that I still deal with, but I'm realizing that cookie probably had a lot to do with it. Okay, I'm going to go to dinner. I am going to go meet up with Tony's boys, actually, and some family in town. Yes, Amber, a special cookie. Right, Marcy? I don't know why I kind of like didn't put 2 and 2 together there, but I'm like, what else was happening at that time? Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe that had something to do with it. Yeah, so I'm going to go have dinner with the boys and their mom and some other family and do that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do a recap in the morning, 10 o'clock Central. I'm actually probably going to end up doing 3 videos tomorrow because I'm doing another video with Z News about some recorded, an interview with a Sea Org member. We're going to hear more about that. And then we're going to, Ushi, thank you so much. Ushi. Ushi? Ushi. Yes. Enjoy dinner, you're heading to bed. Oh, it's just after midnight, Joe. Wow. Oh, yes. And Friday, I'm doing the live with Reese. That's right. 5 p.m. Central. I'm going to be on with Relatable Reese, just on her channel. I'm going to her house. Not literally and physically, but you know what I mean. I'm going to be over on her channel. You can find me there. But I want to go to her house. I want to visit her in Nashville. Well, she lives outside of Nashville, but it seemed like a good place to find a place to stay there. Thank you for being here, Evil Blue Eye. Hit that like button and subscribe on your way out, everybody. I hope you guys get out and have a very fun or relaxing cult-free evening.